internet is at a evolution point where the amount of computing capacity, the amount of storage capacity is skyrocketing. It's growing at an exponential rate, and the demand and the requirement for that capacity necessitates, in hyperscale terms, an investment that's north of $1 trillion, which is impossible.
And essentially, I think if we look at living a life without the internet, it would be almost impossible looking back now. But for about 3 billion people out there, that's a reality. I mean, there are lots of parts of the world today that just are dark. There is no connectivity, and that lack of that connection to the lifeline of our society has left a huge imbalance in education.
The internet today is powered by these huge centralized data centers. These data centers cost up to $1 billion for 100 megawatts. Plus, it needs like 1 year to build. They would require like an army of techies making sure everything runs smoothly. Plus, they consume the same amount of power, like 1/5 of a nuclear plant. So it's not available for everyone.
So this is where ThreeFold comes in. We have come up with a solution using very smart and very open source algorithms to basically empower small, micro little data centers. We decided to try and create an internet that's completely decentralized, one that's not owned by us, but owned by the people. And that's super important.
The ThreeFold token is the currency designed for buying and selling IT services and capacity. The mission is to build out a decentralized network of local capacity to cope with the immense growing demand to compute and store massive amounts of data. This will be done using plug-and-play hardware components, so virtually anyone can deploy capacity to the network.
The nodes that generate storage capacity, that generate computing capacity, those are located close to users. So they can be in local data centers, they could be at local telephone masts, they could be at local network pops on a telecom, they could be in vehicles, they could be in meters, they could be in homes. But the idea is they are distributed globally across the whole planet.
The ThreeFold team has formed a non-profit foundation with no shareholders or beneficiaries to launch the ThreeFold token.
Imagine somebody who is in a remote part of Western Europe or Eastern Europe, who can develop an application and not have to host it somewhere in a data center very far away, but close to them so they can enable all kinds of innovative ways of creating local economies. This is the kind of future we're talking about, and this is not far away, it's not 10 years from now, it can happen right now.
And imagine if all the minds of the people that maybe now don't have access to education and information were able to work together. Imagine what creative solutions we would be able to come up with to change and heal the state we're in.
For me personally, ThreeFold really means upliftment. ThreeFold means empowerment, education, equality, opportunity for all, raising awareness.
You have to understand that if we take away the ownership of the internet from one entity and make it owned by many, you can remove the compromise of it being manipulated or changed or used for the wrong reason.
ThreeFold's not a technology. ThreeFold is a movement. And it has the ability to unlock so much potential and make such a positive impact on the planet and humanity.
And we believe that if we can give this back to the people, we can have people be empowered to basically empower themselves within their own communities.